Today, I'll be touching on something that often goes unnoticed, but is just as important in our celebrations: aromatics. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nerlande, and every week I bring you tips and tricks on how to create boozy cupcakes. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll always know when I upload new videos. As we celebrate fall and the best of the season, we indulge in the fruits and spices and explore how their flavors pair with the spirits popular this time of year. Today, I'll be touching on something that often goes unnoticed, but is just as important in our celebrations: aromatics. Herbs such as sage, rosemary, basil, thyme, and mint are usually associated with savory dishes, but they bring a subtle earthy flavor to sweet confections. The addition of herbs to cocktails and cupcakes create a more complex flavor combination that take them over the top, and one place herbs shine is in a sour cocktail. Our cocktail inspiration today is a rosemary maple bourbon sour, and we'll be creating a maple cupcake soaked in rosemary bourbon and topped with a bourbon lemon meringue frosting. Stay until the end and I will give you the trick to create the perfect sour cocktail every time. A sour cocktail is a drink containing a base liquor, an acid like lemon or lime juice, and a sweetener. The first record of a sour cocktail was in 1856 in Toronto, Canada. Popular sour cocktails include daiquiris, margaritas, whiskey sour, pisco sour, gimlet, and sidecar. Fun fact: did you know that in America, the whiskey sour was the most popular drink between the 1860s to the 1960s? That's about 100 years of popularity. It was so popular that an Atlanta newspaper quoted, "When American meets American, then comes whiskey sour." Variations of the sour cocktail include replacing one or more of the ingredients with something similar. For example, for the sweetener, replacing the sugar with maple syrup or honey, and the lime or lemon can be replaced with other citrus such as oranges or grapefruits. Sometimes egg whites are added to create a more mellow flavor. What makes a sour cocktail perfect is using the correct ratios to balance out all the flavors. To make a sour cocktail, just add all the ingredients into a shaker along with some crushed ice and shake it for about 15 to 20 seconds until it's ready. Then strain and pour into the glass of your choice. Our rosemary maple bourbon sour consists of bourbon as the base liquor, maple syrup as the sweet, lemon juice as the sour, and rosemary as aromatics to give it an extra depth of flavor. My favorite sour cocktail is a nice cold whiskey sour. What's your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. You might be wondering, how does a sour cocktail translate into a cupcake? Well, maple syrup is added to the cupcake batter. Then it is soaked in a mixture of rosemary syrup and bourbon. The meringue frosting, which is made of egg whites only, incorporates lemon juice and some more of that rosemary syrup to round out all the flavors of the cocktail. So take a seat, get comfortable. We're gonna get into making the cupcake. To make the rosemary simple syrup, to a small saucepan, add half a cup of sugar, half a cup of water, and 2 sprigs of rosemary. Then let them cook until boiling on medium heat. You want to make sure that the sugar is completely dissolved before turning off the heat. Set it aside to cool and store it in a glass jar or glass bottle. For the cupcake, we'll be using a 2-step method. That means we'll be mixing all the dry ingredients separately, then all the wet ingredients separately, and combining them in the end. So in a mixing bowl, add the flour, brown sugar, baking powder, baking soda, salt, cinnamon powder, ginger, and nutmeg. Whisk until well combined. For the wet ingredients, using a stand mixer, whip the egg and the sugar until light and fluffy. Add the oil and maple syrup and whip for about a minute. Then add the buttermilk and vanilla. Once all is well combined, add the flour in one go and slowly continue to whisk until well mixed. Divide the batter into your cupcake liners and bake in a preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 15 to 17 minutes. Set them aside to cool. For the meringue icing, in the mixing bowl, add the egg whites, the sugar, the lemon juice, the cream of tartar, and salt. Whisk until well combined. Then take it and put it on top of a double boiler and continue whisking until the sugar is completely dissolved. At that point, bring it back to the stand mixer and start whisking on medium for about 1 minute. Then increase the speed to high and continue whisking until the bowl is cool to the touch. At that point, slow down again and add the rest of the lemon juice and some more of the rosemary syrup. Continue whisking until well incorporated. The meringue will be done when it looks nice and shiny and glossy. For the assembly, using a toothpick, make some holes in your cupcakes. Then take a small mixing bowl, add the rosemary syrup and the bourbon and mix them well, then use that to soak your cupcakes. Take your frosting, frost your cupcake and garnish with a small sprig of rosemary. As promised, here is the tip to make the perfect sour cocktail every time. It's all about ratios, so start with this formula: 3/4 ounce of sweet, 3/4 ounce of sour, and 2 ounces of spirit. You can adjust the sweet up or down depending on how sweet or sour you like your cocktail. Check out the strawberry daiquiri cupcake video to try another sour cocktail. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, like and subscribe and check out the playlist below. As always, it was a pleasure hanging out with you. Please eat and drink responsibly. Bye.